feelings. When you create a reaction podcast, whatever you want to do, and you have opinions about everybody, for some of those people to have a reaction, and I think you can take what they say back without having to shoot them down or gaslight, because that's fair game. You opened up the door for Tamisha to have her opinions, and she should, and we should allow her to vent that without all of this drama and hoopla and your fans coming for her. I can't even speak up for her without getting extra attacked. I'll let you in on something. This weekend, I was getting my life, sucking dick at the beach and having a good ass time. So when I looked at my Twitter and I see that you've like commented and got everybody like coming for me, I muted that shit and went back to sucking dick and enjoying my life, because that is what I do.
Well, I'm intrigued that you were saying that I, like, the insinuation what you said was like, I just made a tweet out of the blue referencing you. And when instead what happened was you were like, I just find it really funny about Black Queer Town Hall. I just think it's funny. So my response was, what's funny?
And we talked about this in text already. The fan that commented mentioned that you started a Black Town Hall, and I said that that was ironic. What was ironic about it is that your town hall happened after the town hall in Chicago that I helped orchestrate. That was the irony, and I made that clear to you in the text 2 days ago.
No, it wasn't irony.
But
you said
they just shared the same name. They weren't the same event at all.
I didn't say that they were, and I also didn't elaborate on the situation because I wasn't trying to make it more drama. I said, that's ironic, and moved on.
You didn't. You said I have to laugh.
Huh?
You didn't say this is ironic. You said this, I have to laugh.
Okay. And I also said the irony, and then I have to laugh. But what I'm saying is in all of those situations, I did my best to not escalate it. And yet here we are, you hopping on live to call me onto the live to entertain these fans with petty drama.
Well,
it feels a little bit like you're throwing a brick and running away in that situation. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I'm just listening to what you just said in that moment, and that's what it sounded like to me. Saying like, I just said that out there and then I want to be done with it. And it's like, well, if you say that, just like you said, when people have review shows and whatnot and they want to put their opinions out there, then you have to expect that there's going to be some kind of backlash to that.
Mm-hmm.
Or people might have backlash to that.
Uh-huh. And me saying I have to laugh isn't me saying, fuck this bitch, she didn't do
I agree.
what she said she did. She didn't work hard, yada, yada, yada.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And I just want to say this.
I don't see it as a brick.
Because it's just one of those things where it's like, again, I will say like the insinuation that Monet has made her living tearing down Black queens doesn't offer nuance to the fact that Monet has taken a big part of her professional relationships and like off stage and in private, uplifting amazing Black and queer artists, and to boil her career down to tearing down Black queens. Does that feel fair to you?
Yes.
And
also, okay, that's petty. I won't say yes, but I will say, in my experience, I have seen Monet play both sides, and that is what I was speaking on.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to negate your experience. Your experience is your own. And I'm not here to say that, you haven't done this or haven't done that. I'm not sure what you've experienced with Monet. All I know is what I've experienced with Monet. And from my experience, especially on our podcast,
it seems that it would be more appropriate for me and Monet to have this conversation than me and you and Keisha to have this conversation.
Well, I was also interested in specifically, and I feel like maybe we've cleared it up in this moment, the discussion about uplifting other Black people. And I guess now we are rounding out some sort of a conclusion on what you meant by the irony, I have to laugh. And a lot of times...
But I explained it to you in a text message 2 days ago.
I mean, something I always say to people, just because you explain it doesn't mean someone understood it.
Right, if you didn't understand, then we could have kept texting.
Well, I mean, which is how we're talking this moment. I've always been one of the people who, whenever I have maybe something that seems like it could be a misunderstanding, I just immediately call the person. I call Tamisha. Say again?
You didn't call me.
Well, I'll call or I'll reach out. I'll reach out to the person. You and I communicated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair.
Yeah,
I spoke on the phone.
We've had conversations before about how, like, if there is a misunderstanding or some sort, that it is better for us to discuss it amongst ourselves and to discuss it on the internet where fans can jump in and chime in and escalate the situation. And yet here we are again, giving them entertainment. So much, I see so much Vixen hate in the comments right now. It's okay, I'm used to it. Keep on. But
Well, I would like to make it clear that I am not, never once, ever, ever, not even one time have I ever supported any amount of hate toward you. All I've ever spoken is positive things about the things you do for your community, how amazing the work you do is over at the Chicago Black Drag Council, how amazing the show Black Girl Magic is. I was very grateful to be a part of the show. I've been, and anyone who ever goes into the comments and says something shady about you, that's not only condemned, but it says a lot more about the people making those comments than it does about the person they're commenting on or whose page they're commenting on. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but I came here to this live just to clear up whatever the confusion was with Keisha, because I heard that there was a misunderstanding and it seems completely confused, and I would love to clear that up.
And I'm glad, and I feel like we have.
Right.
Like there's a.
But I feel like this, when Bob hopped on, I thought that Bob was going to hop on and talk about Tamisha, talk about things. But for Bob to hop on and to call me on to escalate the situation, that
to escalate.
What that feels like is that you're weaponizing your fans, because we could have had this conversation in private.
Well, just because what it feels doesn't mean that's what it is.
Okay, well, thanks for that.
Well, how are you gonna tell me what my intentions are?
I'm telling you how I feel, and you're telling me, well, that don't mean what it is.
But I'm telling you my intentions. These are my intentions.
I don't think we're getting anywhere here.
I think at the base of all of this, at the root of the issue, there are multiple ways for us as Black queens to support other Black queens, and just because this queen does it this way and this queen does it this way does not mean that either one of them is unsupportive. And I think that that's getting lost.
Well, I always say, when I spoke to Dita Riss this weekend, we had such a lovely talk. When I spoke to Tamisha this weekend, we had a lovely talk as well. And I feel like there are so many ways for us as Black artists to be able to uplift each other in private and in public. So that's why I'm taking this opportunity to say right now to you that I do support you. I uplift you. I celebrate you. I think you're phenomenally talented. I think you're a warrior. I think you're brave. I think you're beautiful. I think you're courageous. I think you are truly someone that a lot of people in your fan base, in your scene, outside of your scene, there's probably people all the way over in Australia who love you. You don't even know. I mean, you probably know your reach better than I do. You probably have a much more intimate experience with your reach than I do. And I'm taking this opportunity to say, you know what, Vixen, I do celebrate you. I want nothing but success for you. I wish for you and your message, when it is a message of positivity or a message of Black power or Black love or Black strength or crushing the system or defeating transphobia or crushing xenophobia into the ground, I hope that reaches to as far as the moon does. And I don't want to negate anybody else's Black experience as well. Like when people say stuff like, well, are you authentically Black? You didn't say that. That's something Tamisha said. That's problematic.
Garbage.
Okay, I can understand. And first, I want to say thank you for everything that you just said. You already know, like even before Drag Race, when I was competing at Roscoe's and you showed up to support me, it's always been love. I appreciate that. I really do. As far as what anybody else said, Tamisha said, I really did not care to be that involved in any of this drama. I spoke up for Tamisha because I felt that it was unfair that she was getting so much hate for venting her emotions about the situation. But everything that's transpired since then has really interrupted the fun that I have every weekend. So I'm done. I want to leave. I want to leave on a happy note as much as possible. But thank y'all. Peace out.
Absolutely. Bye, babe.
But Tiki, it's also one of those situations too where it's like, you know, when the Vixen commented that thing, I didn't drag the Vixen into that. I just looked up and I was like, oh my God, Monet